bitches. Welcome back to
No Insights,
the podcast. Welcome back, you guys. We are on episode 11. And we are celebrating Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there. And new mommies and to-be mommies and every mama. All the baby mamas. Every mama.
but not the baby mama going.
Right? So we're here and we're just gonna have some fun, talk about mother stuff. So all the motherfuckers out there, we're gonna be making flower bouquets. But before we start on all of this, we're gonna obviously shout out the drink of the week, and it is a cucumber melon, yeah, cucumber melon mint drink. It's basically melon puree with cucumber vodka. Shout out to Kettle One.
Hey.
And then it has lime, mint, and then some pieces of cucumber in there. So let's try it out, guys. Cheers.
It's like another agua fresca. That's how we had it.
Yeah, we did.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
God, yeah. It's strong.
It's a little strong. So strong.
Thank you, God. A little heavy on that.
What do you think, though?
It's good. I think a little bit more sweetener.
A little bit.
Not a little more of this.
No.
I think
We can take a shot. I mean, shit.
I think it's perfect on the vodka. It's a little bit of more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, and it has a little splash of sparkling water. We used Saratoga. Y'all already know this is like the best thing ever, besides Fiji, I guess now. So
I've never tried that.
the Saratoga. Yeah, me either. So now you have.
Yeah, so I wanted to tell you more about this Kettle One botanical bottle. It's this is like diet deficiency. It has no carbs, no sugar, no artificial flavors. So it's real botanical, fresh taste. So it has cucumber and mint in it. So this is a great one. And summer's right around the corner, and we need.
You can make some mojitos with that.
Yes. So,
I actually have. I actually have one of those.
Yeah?
okay.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So we're gonna just have conversation like always and talk about mother shit.
Motherfuckers.
All right. So we have some flowers. Linda, you want to bring the flowers out in the vases?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Before that, I thought we were gonna, I got the wrong memo, I guess. Oh, no. I thought we were gonna bring our favorite flowers. So that's what I did. And I brought my beautiful, this is my favorite flower. So pretty.
Very pretty.
But I
love orchids.
that's my favorite.
Cute. Yeah.
So I also wanted to bring you guys a little something so that you can take a little part of me home. Happy Mother's Day, darling.
Thank you.
So pretty.
Maddie.
This is so pretty, and I wanted more plants for my house, so that's perfect. I just don't know how to take care of one, so I'm gonna have to.
Well, I got directions for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I love orchids.
Because even though,
We'll set these right here.
Yes, so pretty.
they will eventually like fall out or whatever, but if you take care of them properly, they will grow back.
Okay.
Pretty.
So it'll grow as big as that one?
No, those are mini. Those are gonna stay mini ones.
Okay, cute.
Oh,
That's kind of like perfect for like next to the kitchen or the bathroom. That's cute.
that's what I usually keep.
All right. So let's bring out the flowers. God damn it. So we just got a bunch of different flowers here, and we're just gonna break them in and make ourselves some bouquets. So whatever you want, Madison, let me know so I can pass them over to you. And while we
That's vodka, that's what I want.
right, while we do that, we're just gonna have some combo. Madison, which vase do you want?
Don't matter.
Which one do you like?
I like them both. Here, give me this one.
Okay.
I love those. They're beautiful.
Yay!
You guys,
I'm excited.
I'm not good at this. I always cheat when someone gives me flowers, and then I cut them while they're still here because it's already beautifully assembled. But Ingrid knows how to like take it piece by piece, step by step. I don't know how to do that.
Don't worry, we'll teach you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just open them all up like
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna open them all and then we're gonna just pick them. Who wants to tell me their crazy pregnancy story? Anybody have crazy pregnancy story or like
I think I talked about
I
mine.
know you have one kid.
I have one kid, but I've had more than one pregnancy.
But you have
She doesn't.
but you have one kid and you have three. I have two. Well, since we're gonna start with you, since you had one.
Yeah.
Tell me, how was your labor time, and well, how did you deal with labor?
The funny thing is, God blessed me with the perfect child and the perfect pregnancy. I had no cravings. I worked and went to school full time, and I started having contractions in the middle of my finals. It was my math finals too.
You're like, yes, I have to do the finals.
And no, bitch, it happened in the middle of the test. I was like, fuck. So I finished taking the test, then I went home and I told my baby daddy, I'm having contractions. And he's like, what the fuck? Let's go. I was like, okay. So, but I took the finals at like, what, 8 a.m., but I didn't give birth until like 9 p.m. And also, because I was supposed to be
You're labor all day.
Yeah, because the motherfucker was already 2 weeks overdue.
Oh, so
And that's why I said,
Yeah, she wasn't coming out.
wait, so you were in like, was it hard labor or was it just like cramps, like the small?
It was just tiny cramps. Like, the homegirl did not want to come out at all. I was already 2 weeks overdue. Next week, they were supposed to induce me if she didn't come out. But then I was having contractions. I was like, let's just do it now. Yeah, they had like, what do you call it? Basically pop my
Cherry?
sorry, I did that. They had to pop my waterbed to break my water.
Yeah, we broke the water.
Because it was already 9 o'clock and homegirl still wasn't coming out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You were in pain. But you were in pain. Did you take
Girl? Fuck yeah. That was the first thing I asked for before I even, as soon as I entered, I was like, excuse me, do you have the epidural? And they're like, yeah, but that's only for like a certain level.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I'm very, very interested. When the time comes. So, yeah, I already knew what I wanted. I already did my research, and I didn't give a fuck. I'm the type of person, I don't like pain. You know how some people are like, oh, I like pain. Some people are like, oh my god, that looks really...
This is not what it looks like, you guys.
It's this.
Here's the phone. It's.
Oh, that's a cute picture. I'm not looking at her phone.
Cute phone case, too.
Oh,
no.
She took a picture of it.
No.
Is that what it looks like, guys?
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's too funny. Okay.
So mine wasn't difficult at all.
Okay.
But like I said, I have been pregnant before, and all pregnancies are fucking different.
Yes. Which one for you was your craziest one? But before you answer, which flowers do you want to start with? Or actually, I should give you a packet.
But you gotta cut
Oh,
these. Sorry. I was just blown away by this pile of stuff that you have.
powder.
Powder.
Okay, so yeah, tell us.
Flower food. My craziest shit. Let me see. I gotta really think about it. I guess you know what I would say. I think my craziest because it was my hardest. My third one with London.
I knew it.
Shit, a handful, huh?
I knew it.
That's how she knew. Yeah, no, she was like the most, I think, difficult one, and I think that's, like, I was just working full time still, also, but I was just, what is that? What is that called? See, I can't even think.
What?
I was so stressed out.
Oh,
I was stressed out.
Alright, I'm gonna go like this. In case
there you go.
anybody walks in and they don't think we're doing the wrong thing in life. Right?
You're like awesome.
Yeah, there's a little more here.
Yeah, so I think she was my hardest because I think Tito had just lost his job. I was the only one working. I was big as fuck, ready to fucking pop. Um, and I just went through a lot with her. I was in a lot of pain with her. I had like she would sit on my nerves, so I have a sciatic nerve.
Yeah.
So I was in so much pain all the time.
Now she just gets on your nerves.
Now she just get on me. I love you, mommy. If you ever watch this,
Just kidding.
just kidding. I love you. No, but what is that? I think she was my toughest, and just like that, I just went through a lot of BS. But I think I talked about how like my first kid when I gave birth to him when I was in labor. Because I wasn't like you, girl. I wasn't just cramping a little bit here and there. I freaking he went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Uh-oh.
Like I remember Ingrid's Colette's dad. Colette's dad had just gotten home. We were living with them. And Colette's dad had just gotten home from work. I was taking care of Colette, whatever else. He usually always goes straight to the bathroom to go like shower or whatever. And all of a sudden I just freaking felt like pain.
Oh.
And I would normally like when I would have my cycle, I was always like I guess blessed. I wouldn't have like a cramping. It was very easy for me, you know. And maybe that's why it was rough for me in the first one. And I cramped so fucking bad. It was like terrible. It was so terrible that finally when he took me, I was in labor for 4 hours total.
Oh gosh.
From the moment that I started and when he came out, it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so in the room, I think we discussed this before or whatever, but in the room there was a kid that was just crying his ass off. Nobody was saying anything. And I'm in pain, just like there's holding on to their freaking life. I wanted to punch somebody, anybody, whatever. I wanted to punch. If that kid was in front of me, I would have probably punched him. I probably would have gotten sued. Like it was terrible because I remember cursing. I was like, "Can somebody shut that fucking kid out?" Or something I said, right? And Ingrid and like I don't know who else was there. They're just like, "Hey."
I was like, oh.
They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna put you in a room."
They understand?
I was like, "No, hell no!" Like it was so bad.
Yeah, you need your own room.
Yeah, but no, I was like,
Yeah, but she was in the lobby.
I was in the lobby.
Oh, you was trying to be cool in the lobby.
Yes.
Oh.
So that's like my crazy story with like my kids. I think. Oh, with Kingston. Oh my goodness, I had a scare with him. I thought I was gonna lose him. Like I had found out that I was pregnant, like on a Friday night, like on a Friday day, whatever. And then
You found out that you were pregnant?
I found out that I was pregnant. And the way that I found out, because my dumb ass fucking called out of work like 2 days in a row. So I called out of work saying that I wasn't feeling well. I was just playing fucking hooky. And freaking the next day was Friday. I worked Monday through Friday. The next day was Friday. I went ahead and I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to work again. I'm gonna just call out and then I'm gonna just go to the doctor so I can get a doctor's note. My ass, right? He bit me in the ass because when I went, Tito's just waiting for me in the living room or in the waiting room, and then I go and then they do like a blood. No, it wasn't blood. It was like piss test, this, that, whatever. And then the doctor comes back. I'm just waiting for a doctor's note. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to get out of here, right? So what's going on with you? Oh, I'm just, I don't feel good. I think I have food poisoning. And then, okay, whatever. We'll be back. Then comes back. And he's like, well, that's why you were feeling well. And I'm just like, what? I was like, am I going to die or something? Like, what the hell's going on? And he's
like, I'm not.
Yeah. I was like, like I really am not feeling well. And so he's like, congratulations, you're pregnant.
Oh,
and
Lord.
I said, what?
Say what?
Yeah, I said, I think you have somebody else's
You're
child.
like,
Let me see.
You're lying.
Nah, this bitch was like, damn, I'm
Girl.
going to go drink tonight.
So I was just like, I love how you guys are having yours. I'm just here.
She went into your freaking
I'm just like, let me tell you my story. So, freaking yeah. So that's all I got.
multitasking, girl. Multitasking.
Yeah. Well, you guys have them all the
Do you have scissors?
What am I gonna cut? I don't got nothing to eat.
Well, what do you want?
That's one. That's one of each. Thank you. So yeah, that's how I found out I was pregnant. Then, um, then I had my weekend. Then I'm going to work, getting ready to go to work on my Monday. As I'm getting ready, I started having these badass, like, not even like a cramp. It was like more like a sharp pain, and it hurt so bad that I was like, yeah, I think I need to be hospitalized. Like,
Oh, no.
especially because I knew then that I was pregnant.
Oh.
So, long story short, they were gonna take Kingston out of me, thinking that he was forming in the fallopian tube.
Oh.
And then I was like, no, you need to call my doctor. And they called my doctor, and then she was like, you need to be shit to her. Take her to go do this, that, some tests, whatever else. Yada yada. And I was just pretty much like what is that called?
Bed rest?
No, I was in bed rest, but I was like high risk.
Oh my
Oh, shit.
So that's pretty much all that happened, and then I was fine. I don't know what it was. Nobody knew what it was.
Because you were in New York during that time, was it?
No,
Or
that was with Kingston.
Oh,
It was yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, I mean, I was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was in Brooklyn, and then this pregnancy was with Kingston that I was talking about. It was terrible. That was a highlight and low light about that.
For me, it was.
Have some yellow. Oh, thank you.
For me, it was my crazy one. I would say it was with Mia, which was my first, because
Cause she got it.
so she's a summer baby.
Oh.
She was born in July, and it was the 4th of July. Wait. What was it? I don't remember. I can't remember what freaking holiday it was or why we went, but we were at the lake. I'm ready to pop in 2 weeks.
I think it was I'm ready to party.
I'm ready to pop in 2 weeks. But we are at the lake, and it's hot as hell, and I'm just in the water. And we're having a good time. I'm not feeling anything. I'm feeling great. Whatever. I'm just a pregnant bitch. It's in the fucking lake, right? And we go home. We go to sleep, and then we wake up. And when I go to the bathroom and I wipe a lot of like brownish discharge. And I was like, oh shit! I got scared because like I heard a lot of times like anything, if you're bleeding or anything, you have any weird discharge, call the hospital immediately because you never know what's gonna happen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I called my mom because obviously my mom has already been through it. So I asked her. I called her and I was like, hey, I'm spotting, and she's like, take a hot shower right now, clean yourself up, and go straight to the hospital. You're probably already gonna have the baby. Your water's gonna break soon or something. So sure enough, we go, and the nurses are like, okay, what's going on? And I was like, well, I'm having brownish discharge. And they're like, oh, well, you're not due for another 2 weeks. But we're going to put you in the room and we're going to, like, monitor you and check you, whatever. So
I've been there.
they were asking, they were like, so what's going on? What happened? Have you done anything different or whatever? And I was like, well, we were at the lake yesterday all day. And she's like, oh, you're probably just dehydrated. We'll give you some IV and then you can go home, whatever, right? So then one of the nurses comes and she checks me. And she's like, oh, honey, you're not going home. You're dilated 4 centimeters already. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, you're having the baby today. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I told my mom, I was like, yeah, you're going to have to go to the house and pick up the bags, everything, right?
Oh my god.
Luckily, I had already had the baby shower, so I had all the shit.
Oh yeah.
And so they they come back, and I was at 5 already. And then they're like, okay, so you're going to need, you can choose to have epidural or not. And my mom was finally already in there, and my mom goes, oh no, try to have it natural.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
Like, I want you to suffer the way I do.
right? I was like,
Fuck
shit.
out of here.
But at that moment, I was barely starting to feel any pain.
So you didn't think of it.
So I was like, oh, okay. And the nurse was like,
And
I was
your
like,
first time.
yeah. So I told the nurse, I was like, well, I think I'm gonna try to go natural. And she's like, well, just so you know, like right now you're saying that you're right now you're saying that you're like at a level 3 with pain. She's like, now when you get to 10, because we have to dilate 10 up to 10 centimeters or whatever. She's like, when you get to 10, this is nothing compared to the pain you're gonna feel. I said, oh, never mind. Bring me the fucking epidural.
Bitch.
So they came like within an hour. They came back. They checked me again. She's like, yeah, you're ready.
Okay.
Gave me the epidural. And within like another hour, I freaking was already pushing. So I had me like fast. And so I would think that was my craziest one because my crazy pregnancy or labor because like I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared.
Ready.
Yeah, they were like, "Girl, you're having the baby today." I was like, "All right." And it was easy. It was easy, simple, quick, done. But with Colette, that was a whole different story, man. That motherfucker, I wanted that boy out. And I was not due for another 2 weeks. So Colette would have probably been born on my birthday too. Because his birthday's like what, a week, 2 weeks before me, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
very close.
So
Wait, not even like a week?
yeah, so I was due to have him 2 weeks later, but I couldn't take it anymore. And at that time, I was working for well, even when I had Mia, I was already working at OBGYN. So my doctors were my boss.
Yeah.
So I told my doctor, Dr. Glassman, I was like, Doctor, I can't do it anymore. I need him out. And he's like, No, you have to wait. And I was like, No, I need him out today. If not, I'm gonna fucking go crazy. And he's like, Fine, I'm gonna call a freaking doctor for you, or a freaking hospital for you. So I was supposed to have the baby in St. Rose, or Caleb in St. Rose, but they didn't have any beds for that day that I wanted him out.
Oh, I do remember that.
So Dr. Glass was like, oh, fine, you're going to have to freaking deliver at sunrise. I was like, I don't give a fuck where I deliver. I just need him out tonight. So sure enough, he took me, they induced me. Oh my God. And getting induced is the worst pain ever. So it was horrible, horrible, horrible.
So they give you a shot? What is it?
It's like it's like a shot that like, well, actually they put it in your IV and it helps your contractions like move faster and like but
Do you think it's
but
more?
because
It's more
forced.
pain.
Yeah, because it's forced now. It's not naturally opening.
Oh.
It's forced for you to open, and oh girl, that was the worst. But yeah, that's mine.
You know that you say that because oh, sorry, Ben.
It's okay.
So you know that you say that with Kingston because when I was pregnant with Kingston, Tito was about to go do like his second tour to Iraq, and so obviously we wanted to have him before Tito left. You know,
Cute.
God forbid, just in case, whatever else.
Shorter.
And so when I same thing actually because my doctor was also our boss. Like Dr. Herrero, I used to work with Ingrid too, but I had told her, you know, like, hey, you know, any possibility that I can, you know, like have him early. She was like, hey, oh no, and she basically was like, but I can like play with you a little bit. I don't know what the term was, but pretty much, you know,
Yeah.
we do like see if like I would like
So
start.
they kind of like
They tickled me a little bit.
they play
But
with
it wasn't
cervix to like
Yeah.
manipulate it and see if they can.
And that's why they say her.
They
Like
recommend
sex.
that you have sex to
Yeah,
induce
sex
labor.
and walk a lot.
I even had sex too, and the homegirl still didn't come.
Damn. You did, but you did it.
Wow.
But wait, but Madison has a funny ass story.
Yeah.
Because after you gave birth, Raquel was there with
Oh my goodness.
Tito was
That was
there.
London's.
Oh, that was London's. Tell us about that shit.
What happened?
I'm gonna need a refill on this shit. Well, basically, kind of like Ingrid, how she said that she was like what is that? Had you like But mine were actually more like a brown. You said yours is brown, right? Like your discharge. Mine was more like a pink, like a light pink, whatever. So I was like, "Is this blood?" Like I was really scared. I called the doctor, yada yada. They're like, "Oh no, it's because you're getting closer. It's probably just thinning out, whatever it is. The baby's gonna be coming out, getting ready to come out soon. But you're okay as long as you're not bleeding. You're good." Okay. So then I told my best friend. My best friend Raquel was like, "You know what? Let's go have some lunch, whatever, right?" So we went to what is that called? Senior Frogs. We went to Senior Frogs on the strip, and so it was her girlfriend Joss, me, and Tito. And so Joss and Tito are just over there slamming fucking drinks, just fucking getting drunk and shit, whatever, having a good time. We're all having a good time. And then it turned into like a nightlife over there, right? So they were still just going at it, and I was just like, oh my god. And I still kept discharging, so I was scared, and I was like, dude, I don't know, like I don't have a good feeling. Like I feel like she's gonna be coming out tonight. So when we left, Raquel was like, "Do you want me to just take you to the hospital because Tito's fucked up? He's not gonna be able to fucking take it. And if you're in pain and labor, you're not gonna be able to, drive." I was like, okay, fuck it. So I just grabbed all my stuff, whatever. Tell me why Tito's ass, we're waiting for him. We're like, let's go, we gotta go. We're all waiting in the car for him. Tell me why he brings a big ass fucking, like, cup, like, maybe like tall like this. No lie. Like, those big ass cups that you take outside of the pool?
Yeah.
Okay, like the plastic ones. He brings that, and we were like, what the hell are you doing?
Like a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Like a Stanley cup. Comes out, woo, and he made himself vodka and orange juice.
Hey.
I was like, this motherfucker. He's like, let's go. I'm baby. I was like, this motherfucker. So him and Joss are still fucking drinking. I go to the hospital, and I was like, cause same thing. They wanted to send me home. They were like, I knew it already that they were gonna try to do that. So I was like, hey, like I've been this is happening all night, all day. My doctor said that if I start bleeding, that I need to come to the hospital. So you're bleeding, and I lie again. I'm such a liar. I lied, and I was like, yes, I'm like bleeding a little bit. And so they're like, okay, then we'll take you in. But otherwise, they would have sent me back fucking home. So whatever, they took me back, and then the nurse was like, okay, so what's going on? She took me to the restroom, like if I was still lying, which I couldn't was. Anyways, so she's like, okay, so what's going on? And I said, well, I just keep like all of a sudden, if I make a movement, whatever, I just discharge, and it's like red or whatever, blood or yada yada. And she's like, okay, well. And I'm kind of like, oh, because she was like, okay, put your pants down.
Let me see
She took me to the bathroom. I have my own like room or whatever, but she took me to the bathroom. And she's like, all right, put your pants down, whatever. And I was just like, so as soon as I put my pants down, I like leaked. Oh, I know, sorry guys.
Censor, it's normal.
Yes. So I leaked, and I was like, that's what keeps happening. Sorry. I was like, that's what keeps happening. And she was like, oh, okay. And she's like,
Here, give us some Maddie.
Where's
I got some. I have some more stuff.
Oh, I see.
Thank you. And so she's like, oh, she goes, okay, let's put you on the bed. Put me on the bed, and they did like a little swab. And she was like, okay, if it turns this color, you're in labor. If it turns that color, then you're not. Okay. But I'm not in pain or anything. I'm just like, whatever. Then she's like, look at that. She's looking at the swab. Look at that. You're about to give birth. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, really? And same thing like Ingrid. I was like, really? I was like, well, I'm not in pain. And then she goes, oh, you're feeling soon enough. I was like, oh, fuck me. So then they're just preparing me, whatever else. And then Tito and Joss, because they're fucked up, they're like, there's like a
I wish you would have recorded
with our friend.
You know how
It was
the
a movie.
moment the camcorder?
It was a movie.
The moment they leave the door. So none of us documented ours.
I mean, and if times were like they are now,
Yeah,
like
because
then,
you didn't know you were
right.
having a baby. Ingrid, you should record it because you
She
requested
didn't
it.
know. She didn't know either.
No, I requested it with Colette. No, I didn't.
But they didn't know how
I was
to.
there.
Yeah. She didn't give a
So
fuck.
I
She
was
just wanted to give
thinking about recording anything.
She didn't give a fuck.
I want my baby out.
Get the fuck out.
Girl, so tell me about this hungry ass. Well, I was hungry too, right? But they're fucked up, Joss and Tito.
They got the
So
lunch.
they're like, yeah. So they're like, there was like KFC, there was like Taco Bell, this, that, whatever.
Hannah City was in your delivery room?
Huh?
KFC.
Oh, sorry.
You
can
said,
tell.
hey, you said shots.
You can tell I have problems.
And then so I was like, so they were like, oh, we're gonna go to Taco Bell. Do you want something? And I was like, yeah, let me get and then the nurse right there, she goes, she goes, you're not gonna get nothing to eat. And I said, why not?
Oh.
Yeah, and she's like, well, because you know, later on you're gonna want to like vomit. And I was like, really? I was like, but I feel fine. And right now you feel fine. Later on you won't.
Oh.
And if you eat, it's gonna be worse. Okay, whatever. So they they get the fucking food, and I'm just there watching that. I'm so fucking mad. They're fucked up, annoying. They're over there eating in front of me.
And you're over here trying to have a baby.
And then I start feeling fucking pain. And then, girl, and then after my friend, they leave, and Tito just fucking knocks the fuck out. But he is snoring like a motherfucker. Like, if I had something to throw at him, I would have. I was just like, oh my God. Going through so much fucking pain with his ass. Just sitting there, drunk as fuck, full, happy, and I'm over here in pain.
Damn.
That's
Fuck
fucking
men.
men. That's fucking men. Girl, the things we have to deal with, and men just get to enjoy everything that we do for them. God damn it. Anyway,
Motherfuckers.
we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We need some refills.
Okay, guys, we are back, and we did a little cleanup and refilled our drinks. So cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
And let's first of all let's talk about our vases. Are you happy with your vase?
Ingrid's
Your
gonna have to
cake?
fix it. No.
I think what I'm gonna do,
You guys, look at
I'm
a
gonna give you my
5-year-old
yellow
could do this
ones.
better.
I love you. I'm gonna give you my yellow ones.
Okay.
And put those on the other side. And then I'm gonna
y'all.
keep these.
Ingrid's
here.
got to fix it. Do you want any of my
I think
shit?
it looks beautiful. Oh, thank
I
you.
think it's pretty, yeah.
And
fucking
mine's
try.
really pretty too.
Yeah, all you guys.
I think mine is
It's
beautiful. We're gonna be putting water in these later, you guys, so don't think
Oh.
like we're done.
This is the front part.
And
Yeah.
this.
It's so cute.
Don't
Yeah.
forget this.
The plant food,
Flower
flower food, whatever. What's it called? What was I gonna say?
Oh,
I had fun making these.
Yeah,
yes.
Cute. Yeah, I think they're cute.
Thank you for showing me how.
Of course. Next time you can do your own flower bouquet. Okay, so
Next time we're gonna buy more flowers.
yeah, different types.
Okay.
We make bigger ones too, and then we'll buy like different bases or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
we should do that.
I didn't eat before I came. I'm about to be tipsy.
Girl,
I didn't eat either.
And these are so good.
I ate like an hour.
I love your lipstick. I love
Oh,
that
thank
color.
you.
Pretty.
It's Ingrid's.
Oh, I
Well,
love it.
thank you.
I used to have one from like MAC that was like that, but it was like a shiny, what they call it, cream sheen or something like that. They got rid of those. I hate that.
When they,
You're,
yeah, I hate
you're
when they
the
get
queen of
they got
lipsticks, though, bitch. You always have the good MAC lipsticks.
Well, but not anymore because they don't. Thank you. But not anymore because they get rid of them all the time.
Yeah.
To continue them, and I don't. Yeah.
I hate that.
So I stopped for a while getting lipsticks.
Mm.
So, the next topic that we're going to talk about is
Mhm.
the slippery over there.
My drunk ass.
I'm dead.
Sorry.
We're going to talk about parenting.
Mm.
Did you take anything how your mom parented you when you were a child? Did you take anything with you and do it with your daughter now that you can think of? What
Yes.
was, you know.
Yes. Growing up, my parents were very overprotective. I was that child that had to be escorted to the bus stop. And I used to be like, oh my God, there's like kindergartners going to the bus stop and walking home all by themselves. Up until 8th grade, I got escorted to the bus stop. True fucking story.
wow.
Because they're always afraid. And I lived in the hood too, so I don't know. Maybe that played a role.
Yeah.
But I was so embarrassed. But now that I have a daughter, I'm like, oh my God. I get it now.
So,
I
but,
fucking
so
get it.
you do the same. You're overprotective with her. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When it comes to like bus stops and stuff, girl, I
Yeah.
used to like, if someone's not there to pick her up, I make sure someone's there. If I can't do it, someone has to be there.
Okay.
I swear to God, I can't
Yeah.
get rid of that.
I think I know that from you. You were always like,
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta go.
So,
Sorry,
I
I
don't
know.
think that's a protective thing. I think that's more like you want to make sure that she's taken care of, you know. Because I think,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't know. Because I mean, you are protecting her.
Mm-hmm. And this is nothing against to the kindergartners that I saw walking home. I get it.
Your parents didn't love them or
Yeah, I used to be embarrassed, and I'm like, but now I think about it, like there are single moms out there that can't, or there's or parents that simply can't bring their kids to and from the bus stop or to school. I get
they
it.
have to work.
Yeah. So, but I felt bad for them now that I'm older. So I totally get it. But yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
So you think that you get more, I get you, mom, or I get you, dad.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
right. And
I feel like everything she told me, she was right.
Yeah.
She told me about credit scores.
Right. I didn't do any of that.
My parents didn't.
My parents didn't teach me anything about credit, but because of that, well, that's one of them.
That's what I'm
That's right. Now I try to teach them,
Mhm.
like, your credit is very important. I always
Oh my
try to
God.
tell them, like,
You guys.
don't freaking fuck up your credit because your credit in America is your fucking life. That's basically,
Yes.
if you don't have credit, you don't exist in this fucking world.
Yeah, like Biggie said, that credit, you better get.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But for me, I think my biggest one is because I was the oldest. I don't know if you ever felt that because you were younger. The younger one, the younger
I
child,
was younger.
the younger child. Um, when I was growing up, my dad, I think my dad especially was very um I guess it would be strict, overprotective. Like, I couldn't do anything. I remember when I was like in sixth grade or fifth grade, like they had a field trip. I was not allowed to go to a field trip because my parents were like, "Oh no, you're gonna get stolen, or they're gonna forget about you and leave you." And I'm like,
I get that.
what the hell? So I was never able to go to a freaking field trip. And then they had a camping, like a summer camp, and all my friends were going, and I was not allowed to go because something could happen. So there was always so many times where I wanted to do things and I couldn't because my parents were very protective of me. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's because I was the older child, the first child, so they were like very scared and they didn't know how to deal with that. Um, but now I don't do that to my kids because I don't want them to go through what I went through. So I'm like, you want to do something? Okay, you can do it, but you got to, like,
Watch out.
Communicate.
you gotta make sure that you know what you're doing. Well, I ask them questions. Okay, if this situation happened, what are you gonna do? And if they answer correctly, I'll be like, okay, then then you're good. But
What's that video? If a stranger tells you that they have candy, get in the car. What do you do? Say yes. I'm coming.
for real.
Right away.
Yeah, so that would be my biggest one.
Mhm.
And another one, I would think that the second one would be that I mean, come on, when it comes to drinking and drugs, everyone does it, and sex especially. So those are the three things that you gotta watch out with your kids, like sex, freaking drinking, and fucking drugs. Um, so I've always came completely honest and truth with my kids. I tell them exactly the first time I had sex. I tell them the first time I tried weed or whatever. I tell them, like, I've been drinking since I was a child because in the Mexican culture, your parents are giving you fucking beer at 2 years old.
On your lap, your tío's giving it to you, your tia, or your mama, or your dad.
I mean,
Somebody.
they're not getting us drunk, but we have it in our blood already by that age. But
Your first sip.
but my actual first time, like, getting drunk and stuff, like, I told them that, and like I tell them, like, the consequences, like, this is what happened to me the first time I tried. So I tell them, like, this can happen, or this is what it does to you. And then if you want to try it, you're gonna try it in my home 1st. Do it in my home under my roof when I can watch you and make sure that you know how to handle it. So when you go outside, you already know what to do.
Yeah.
You know how to handle it. You're not like these kids that have never done it and they're fucking up, doing some crazy shit, or not knowing what the fuck they're doing. At least you know how to handle it now.
Right.
And so those are the two things that I take, like, for sure. Like, I'm gonna need to tell my kids that because I had to learn the hard way. Because my parents were like, no, they would tell me, no, don't do this, don't do that, but they would never tell me why. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I never understood it until I got older, but it was too late by that time.
Yeah.
I mean, done with that shit.
When you're told no, it's like, well, now I know why. Now,
Yeah.
right? Like they get more curious, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like those people like when they're like, Vegas ain't ready for us. Nah, bitch, you aren't ready for Vegas.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you know what? Same thing kind of well, yeah. I didn't go to like field trips or anything like
We're all fucking slurping on drinks. I'm like,
yeah. I didn't go to much I don't think I even went to any field trips either as a kid. But I think part of that being a mom well, my kids are older now. They don't really do field trips. Now they're doing like, you know, when they go out of the country and stuff like that, which is more like, oh my God. However, when my kids would do like elementary, whatever else, and they had like little field trips, they would send home like to chaperone or whatever. So anytime that they would have the field trip, I would get the day off to go with them. So that's what's different that I took from because I didn't go to any field trips either. So that's what I did different. So that's what that's what I learned, and that's what I took. But same thing, like how you said, that sometimes they both had to work, so they didn't have time, you know, to do that. So I get that too.
yeah.
I get that too. So if you have time, if you can do it, if you can't, you know, it sucks, but we're gonna eventually get it when we get older. Like why or whatever. But I think that's one of the major things. And then the other thing I think that I got mostly from my mom was more like little home remedies. Like when your kid is sick.
Oh yeah.
Like what you do, like you know, you know, shit like that. I think that's what I got. However, now that my kids are getting older, I feel like I understand why grandparents are more like loving is because I feel like they get a second chance. Now they have
Yeah.
time to be with, you know, their kids or their grandchildren, whatever. Now they have time because they're not busy freaking working all the time.
Yeah.
So they're more like
It's
there.
a second chance to
Yeah.
parent.
And I'm regretful in a lot of things that I wasn't there so much with the kids because of my schedule from bartending all the time. Like, that I feel like, oh, my kids are already getting older. And then I'm like, what did I do with them? I did a lot with them, but I just wish I could have done more. Like, I don't think I've done enough.
Yeah.
And so I think that is something that I'm learning also to be like, you know, like I have to swallow that shit, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think that when I become a grandparent, hopefully not. When I become a real parent, no, when I become a grandparent, I'm gonna become a real parent. That's the thing. Yeah. So hopefully not anytime soon, obviously, because they're still young. Because fuck that shit. I already told them that too. I said, you know what? I said, you better watch out and you better take care of yourself and whatever, because I love you and I will always have your back and all this, but I am not raising another child if it's your child. I didn't have to. My parents didn't have to raise you. I raised you. Therefore, you need to raise your own child, and the only way to do that is when you're ready. And you won't ever really be ready, but make sure that you have your house. But I am not raising another child if it's your child. I didn't have to. My parents didn't have to raise you. I raised you. Therefore, you need to raise your own child, and the only way to do that is when you're ready. And you won't ever really be ready, but make sure that you have your house, your car paid off, and then you have a decent job because it's not fucking easy, man. Especially the way times are coming out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that's all I have to say. Shit.
I be telling my daughter, I said, don't be in a rush to grow up because the adult life is ghetto.
For real, it is.
It's just like ghetto.
It's dumb.
Oh, so this is the most ghetto place I've ever been.
For real.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to ever be a grandma because I have a gay son and he don't want kids. He doesn't want any kids and Mia doesn't want kids. So the only freaking grandkids I have is their fucking dogs.
They're fur babies.
Yeah, they're
You do big, but I am not raising another child if it's your child. I didn't have to. My parents didn't have to raise you. I raised you. Therefore, you need to raise your own child, and the only way to do that is when you're ready. And you won't ever really be ready, but make sure that you have your house, your car paid off, and then you have a decent job because it's not fucking easy, man. Especially the way times are coming out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Even though London is only 12 years old, they still, go boy crazy and stuff like that. Obviously, it's just, it's
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
But I always tell her, actually, just told her like 2 days ago, I said, girlfriend, like you see, like someone's going to be interested in you because you're a pretty girl, all this. Listen, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're this, you're that. So when someone tells you this, don't think like, oh, because you've heard it already.
Mhm.
Okay? Right now, what you're going to do is focus on yourself and what you want to do. That's it. And then,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, one thing that I do different though, let's talk about what we do different from our parents. One thing I do different is
Single up.
that
Good foot bit.
No.
On Tuesday.
my dad was a certified
On Tuesday.
my dad was a certified alcoholic. I can't escape that shit. And what I do different is how Madison, just to piggyback off what you said, is that your daughter's not gonna get all Google Gaga when a guy tells her she's beautiful because she's already been told that. And that's another thing is like my mom never really had that pep talk because my mom was never that kind of girl. She was very innocent. My mom didn't get married, I think, until she was like, well, she didn't have her first boyfriend, which was my dad, until she was like 28. There was a lot of guys that wanted to court her, she said, but she was just not that type of girl. And I mean, I wish I was innocent like her. I'm not saying that. That's what you did different from her. No, edit that out. Edit that out. Wait, hold on. Don't leave that in there. My mom was very innocent. My mom was a very innocent young lady, so she didn't know how to
Whatever. Even though London is only 12 years old, they still, go boy crazy and stuff like that. Obviously, it's just, it's
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
But I always tell her, actually, just told her like 2 days ago, I said, girlfriend, like you see, like someone's going to be interested in you because you're a pretty girl, all this. Listen, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're this, you're that. So when someone tells you this, don't think like, oh, because you've heard it already.
Mhm.
Okay? Right now, what you're going to do is focus on yourself and what you want to do. That's it. And then,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, one thing that I do different though, let's talk about what we do different from our parents. One thing I do different is
Single up.
that
Good foot bit.
No.
On Tuesday.
my dad was a certified
On Tuesday.
my dad was a certified alcoholic. I can't escape that shit. And what I do different is how Madison, just to piggyback off what you said, is that your daughter's not gonna get all Google Gaga when a guy tells her she's beautiful because she's already been told that. And that's another thing is like my mom never really had that pep talk because my mom was never that kind of girl. She was very innocent. My mom didn't get married, I think, until she was like, well, she didn't have her first boyfriend, which was my dad, until she was like 28. There was a lot of guys that wanted to court her, she said, but she was just not that type of girl. And I mean, I wish I was innocent like her. I'm not saying that. That's what you did different from her. No, edit that out. Edit that out. Wait, hold on. Don't leave that in there. My mom was very innocent. My mom was a very innocent young lady, so she didn't know how to pep talk about don't let guys take advantage of you. My aunties had to. Like, they kept saying, a guy only wants one thing, and he tells you if you don't sleep with me, then I'm gonna break up. You tell him to fuck off. So her sisters had to tell me that. And now I tell my daughter stuff like that.
Yeah.
I told her, you can date, you can have a boyfriend, but I'm not in any rush to be a grandmother, so can you do me a favor and not,
Yeah.
and she's like, Mom, you. I'm like, I gotta tell you this shit.
Yeah.
You're saying you because I'm your parent and you don't want to have that conversation with me. But
Correct.
if you're talking to your other friends, you'd be like, ooh,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
So that's just me because my mom didn't have that talk to me because my mom wasn't that type of girl. So
Yeah.
she just thought her daughter was going to be just like her. I'm just kidding. Savage. Her daughter's trying to be a savage. What about you? What do you do different?
I think I just said what I do different. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like
Forgot.
what my what my parents did to me. I think the one thing I did take though from my mom is my mom is very what do you call it? Well, when I was growing now today she's different. But when I was growing up, my mom was not very, she was never like the hugging mom.
Mm-hmm.
She was not affectionate. She was very like, come on, come on, what the hell you got? Or, like, she was never like affectionate.
She's always yelling.
Yeah, like there was never like affection. So I think that, like, I grew up that way. So now it's hard for me. Like, I do kiss and hug my kids, but I don't feel like I do it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was brought up not doing it, you know? So when I do it, it kind of feels weird sometimes, but then I know my kids like it, you know, so I do it. But for me, myself,
Yeah.
it's a little weird because my mom never did it to me. My dad was more loving, but my mom wasn't. So I grew up thinking,
Yeah, even though my our dad was more strict than my mom, I think so too. Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad was a little bit more loving.
That just made me.
But
I'm not affectionate.
But you know what's crazy though? It just depends on your on your person, on who you are, because like that's how you felt and that's how you feel like you reciprocated that, whatever. But I feel like I, you know, I hug my kids a lot and whenever and stuff like that, whatever. But I think it's just just the way we think. You know what I mean? Or like how we feel, or maybe it's the signs, like you say.
yeah.
Like, but I don't believe in that shit. But everybody's gonna be their own person or whatever, no matter what. Like, you can always tell somebody, hey, you'll be a millionaire, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. If you walk through that door, it's all on who, if they want to do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
you can lead the horse to the water, but it's up to them to drink it.
Yeah.
Kind of shit, But,
Yeah.
so you
But
don't feel
you're
like
a good mom, though. Everybody.
I feel like I'm not affectionate enough because my daughter, it's her personality. She's very standoffish. She's quiet, but she's a good kid, and she makes things awkward. So that's why I don't hug her.
Gotcha. Yeah. So she's the one that's not too affectionate.
Yeah. So I don't give a fuck after today. I'm gonna go home and hug her. She's probably like, bitch, you're drunk.
You're like, come here.
This bitch is drunk. She can come and give me a hug.
That's funny.
Yeah. Is there anything that you took that you do that you're mama? our mom did that you take now with you? Because we talked about what we don't do, but is there anything that you do?
Well, besides like the remedies.
Yeah.
So chanclas doesn't look like
Right.
I don't think I have any other, I mean, I guess I yell a lot sometimes, but that's because I have to tell them a million times. And then finally I had it up to here that, oh, that's another thing I guess. Saying that, because my mom used to say that all the time. I had it up to here. I got that from my mom. No, but when you just like, you feel like you're just on repeat and just saying the same thing, saying the same thing, saying the same thing. And that goes for relationships, you men and you women too. When we keep telling you what annoys us, but you keep doing it, and then when we finally get into like an argument, huge argument, oh, all I did was this, or I did. No,
Men are like
because
children.
you've been telling you.
Yeah.
You've been telling you. I think that's what it is.
Because men are children too.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
I think that's the thing I did get from her is that I would yell a lot, but it's only because I've been provoked.
Yeah.
You made me this way.
It's true though.
So, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't have daddy issues. I have mom and daddy issues. I just realized I just remember it. Maybe it's the kettle one that's making me think a lot.
I was gonna say, pour some fish
Shout out to kettle one. This is good. Another thing I do different because as a teenager I snuck out a lot. And I told my daughter, I can give you a ride wherever the F you want as long as you don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing my daughter does not do. She's like, and you go here and you go there.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be boys, whatever. But I don't like any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my daughter, she let your kid know that you trust them so they can trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be no secrets. I'm pretty sure she has plenty of secrets from me. But she will never have to sneak out. and have her boyfriend pick her up down the street.
Not the
at
important.
the end of the road.
Not the
So
important.
that's another
stuff,
thing.
yeah.
I never want my child to feel like she has to sneak out
Right.
to
Or hide
go.
things from
Yeah,
people.
because I know you said growing up you couldn't do a lot of things,
Mhm.
and because I was restricted too, but I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Because I was so restricted, I would want to go out and do things.
Yeah,
That's why I did it different with my kids, and they don't want to do shit.
that's good.
Because they, yeah, because they have all the freedom, and they're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So
Right.
you know, it worked better for me.
I know. I mean, my parents were. I know that they were really strict on Ingrid and Ruby, which is Ingrid, Ruby, me, and then our youngest brother, whatever. But I know they were really strict on you guys. I know that. And with me, they didn't give a fuck.
They're
He
not-
didn't care about me.
They're not worried about.
She
She you like that. She's gonna fuck up anyway. So
they promised her a car, but they bought you a car. For real.
No, I didn't think about a car. My little brother was the one that got the car.
Oh.
It went
Oh,
from
wow.
first to last.
We're not gonna go there. That's a different story. But
Yeah.
we don't hold any.
No, but I think honestly too though,
Yeah.
it's like I think they felt because I was like a straight A student. I was straight A. I was just, I think that's probably what they thought. Like, oh, she ain't gonna do shit,
she gonna be shit.
She gonna be shit.
She
She ain't gonna do shit.
Like she other fucking
Straight A student or not. Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know. I don't know what it was. They just gave up on me. And again,
but it worked out to their benefit.
it worked out to their benefit. I wasn't a bad kid. I talked back, but I wasn't a bad kid. Damn, that's why my kids talk back to me.
Okay.
Karma. That's what I was afraid of.
No, it's
You don't work for me.
Karma.
Yeah, that's why I pep talk my kid about everything because I know what the fuck I did. And I don't. That's why I was like, I don't want her to sneak out. So I just I do everything I can to avoid my karma. Get back, please.
Yeah.
I believe in karma, but I don't.
Okay. Huh.
That's for another episode.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much going to be the episode, you guys. I think we're
Yes.
pretty good on our bouquets. Next time we'll do better.
Yeah.
It's our first time, guys. No, it's our first time doing it on fucking film. Next time we'll do it a little better. But thank you, Madison, for the flowers.
They're
It's
beautiful.
so
I
cute.
love it.
Or what is it? A plant?
No, well, yeah, they're orchids.
Yeah.
But they're flowers.
Right.